All right, y'all, we back. We back. Say hey, baby. It's in the bean with me, my baby. All right, we're in the book of Job. We're in chapter 4 now. And we're gonna section this off. I'm gonna do this in sections instead of covering the whole chapter and like running over it. We're gonna slow it down and we're gonna do this the right way because I got something for you. And I hope you enjoy this and I hope you get something out of it. Let's do it. So Job chapter 4, here we go. It says, Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, so this is Job's friend here speaking to Job, all right? He says, If we essay to commune with thee, wilt thou be grieved? But who can withhold himself from speaking? Behold, thou hast instructed many, and thou hast strengthened the weak hands. Thy words have upholden him that was falling, and thou hast strengthened the feeble knees. But now it is come upon thee, and thou faintest. It toucheth thee, and thou art troubled. There's the first 5 verses of Job chapter 4. It is deep. Let's go there. I got notes. So, this is Job's friend speaking to Job. And, he's pretty much uplifting and praising Job because Job is very sad in this moment. And his friend, and we need more friends like this. Let's start there. In today's time, we have social media, and when our friends fall, everyone tends to just expect them to get back up and be fine. And most of the time, and some of those times, like we really be in need, and um, you know, we don't have nobody there to our aid or to our rescue to come and to speak kind words and to actually be there for a friend like a friend should be. But let's continue. So one of Job's friends is speaking to Job, and he's saying, "You have instructed slash instructed, meaning he taught. You have taught many. You have strengthened the weak hands. Your words have upholden him that was falling." In other words, he's praising Job. He's telling Job, your words have really helped those who have fallen. Have been falling because Job was a man of stature and a man of many resources. So, and he was the greatest man in the East. Let's not forget that he was one of the greatest men in the East. And Job's friend is his friends have come to sit with him 7 days and 7 nights. And remember, Job didn't say a word, but this is Job's friend, pretty much uplifting and praising Job to uplift his spirit. And we need more friends like this. Like I said, in today's time, everyone wants to just get over on the next and keep it moving like they didn't just hurt someone and didn't just destroy someone. And we need more people that really actually care and actually um will be there for one another, and to strengthen each other and uplift each other, especially when one of one of our great people, one of our teachers or one of our instructors, whenever they fall, who do they have to call? Hanzin Bing. So yeah, man. Let's continue. So he says, Your words have upholden him that was falling. In other words, Job's friend was saying that Job has lifted up many with his actions and words. These are my notes. So his friend continues to praise and uplift Job by saying he has strengthened the feeble knees. Then he says to Job, But now it has come upon thee, and thou faintest. He's pretty much telling Job, you're the one. You're the one who uplifts everyone. You've been the one to strengthen the weak hands. You've uplifted spirits, and you've helped many. You've instructed and taught many. But now, um, trouble has come upon you, and you fainted. You faintest, like you fainted. You're you're troubled. You're down. He's pretty much telling him, like, he's he's recognizing. He's telling Job, like, trouble has come upon you. So, like, what now? So, and let's see, verse 6 of chapter 4 says, "Is not this thy fear, thy confidence, thy hope, and the uprightness of thy ways? Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same." So, um, here is stating, if you if you sow iniquity, meaning you're just living in sin, or it doesn't even have to be you, but it could be people around you, living in sin, and you fall victim to it, in some way they scheme and plot to get you into sin. Now you've fallen. That's why we have to be wary of the company we keep. Um, he says, "It's not this thy fear, thy confidence, thy hope, and the uprightness of thy ways." Like, is this not? He's Job's friend is telling, like, he's telling him, like, is this not this your fear? Like, that your confidence is gonna be shattered. You know, we need friends like this, friends that'll, what I'm saying, that'll keep us strong, keep us going, and they continue to uplift us in times of need. We need that, especially in a time right now where, many people are being laid off from work, and I'm, I left work, to come here. But I mean, it is what it is, and I'm dealing with the consequences, and that's just, less money. But in turn of me leaving my old job and coming to where I am now, I have more peace now. I have more. I have the vision now of where, my life is gonna, you know um go from this point forward. I know where my future lies. My future lies in God's hands. I just want to be an example to those who followed me along the way. Those of you who see me, from the music era, from me doing music, and the things I've said in the music was just very vulgar, um, very gnarly. I've I've done I've done a lot, but God has opened my eyes. He's pulled the scales from my eyes and shown me, um, you know, like, what now? What are you gonna do now? You know, and I'm answering the call, and I'm very happy to do so. Um, was my confidence shattered along the way? Yeah, of course. I I was broken, but He mended me back together and made me stronger than ever. And now I have the strength and the confidence to show others the way, to strengthen others when they're down. And I wouldn't take back anything that happened to me for the world. Literally for the world, because I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. I'm getting better by the day. It comes, I've had to set boundaries with, with old friends, and until they can meet me on my frequency. You know, I just I can't risk, going back to a familiar place. I can't risk going back into the pit, you know? So I have to dwell in the Most High, in the Spirit of the Most High. um, and continue the walk of faith. So I just want to encourage anyone who sees this video to do the same. And I know it's not easy. I know it takes a lot of work. It took a lot of work for me to get here. I come from, I got the background, uh, you know, and I just always, strive to be the best person I could be along the way. Even in my sin, I would, I would I would try to minimalize it. I would try to keep it to a minimum. And I noticed that the more I try to keep it to a minimum, the harder that the enemy pulled was trying to get me to the other side. And that was the hardest battle of my life. But I have overcome that, and God is he's blessing me with more wisdom, and he's blessing me with patience. Patience. That's one of the main things He blessed me with. Patience. Patience is a virtue, the Bible says. Um, we need that. Without patience, we can be caught up in situations that we wish we never were caught up in. Um, there's a lot that comes with the walk with Christ. But I'm willing to bet it all on the line for Christ, and continue to live for God. But yeah, I hope you guys got something out of this. I'm gonna continue to dig into it more, so I can bring you guys more substance and more content. You know, so I hope you guys got something out of it, and keep your friends close and uplift your friends. Don't pull your friends down. If you see one of your friends going higher than you, encourage him to go higher. Encourage him to keep going. Encourage him to continue to prosper and lead the way. Because there's been a great falling away from uh from the church, and the church meaning not meaning like an actual physical place, but yes, there's been a great falling away from church as well. I just wish we can go back to the days where we had revivals for days on end. Like I remember going to church, 4 days in a row, 4 or 5 days in a row. We called it camp meeting. And all the best preachers from the tri-state area would come and preach, and preach and teach. And I was uh one of the lucky souls to have experienced that. And I know some of us haven't experienced that in our life ever. I'm known some people. I don't know personally, but friends on social media, I can tell that that they don't really have that background, and it really affects them. Because they're like caught up in the world and caught up in the cycles. But once you break that cycle in the world, you're able to recognize a problem, and break it down to where others can understand, at least understand the problem. They may not accept it, but they can understand it. And you have the power to God has given you the power and authority to enlighten others and inspire others to do the work of God and the work of Christ. But I hope you guys got something out of this. Y'all have a blessed night. I love you all. Stay blessed. Peace, love, and blessings. Say bye bye, baby. Say bye bye, mama. You good, baby. You didn't say anything the whole video. I'm surprised. I thank you guys so much. I hope you got something out of this. I will be back with more. So yeah, peace, love, and blessings. Until next time. Say bye bye, baby. Bye bye.